Good morning. Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. Our special guest today is Missy Turner. She is the owner of Mutt Cuts in downtown Sylacauga. She's also very active in several of our city's organizations, including our very own Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill. Missy, thank you for coming on the show today.
Thank you, Tara. I'm glad to be here.
Great. So tell our viewers that don't already know you a little bit about who you are.
Well, I'm Missy Turner, owner of Mutt Cuts. I've been in Sylacauga for about 18 or 19 years and have a shop about a block away, and I groom dogs.
So when did you get into grooming? How long have you been a groomer?
1993. That's when I first started grooming. I learned kind of by accident. A friend needed some help on the weekends, and I went to help her, and she said, "Would you like to do this full time?" And I did, and I've never looked back.
And now when did you open Mutt Cuts?
2004.
Okay.
2004, I opened over by the swimming pool, and then I moved my shop to another location, and finally I'm in my last location. Hubby says he is not going to build me another one, so this is it.
Well, it's a good thing you don't need another one.
No, I don't. No, I've got plenty of space now.
So what training do you have to have? What do you have to do in order to become a groomer?
Well, different states have different requirements. Some require certification or some training. Fortunately, I learned OJT, so I was on the job training, and it took probably about a year and a half to learn at that speed, but Alabama does not require any type of certification. That doesn't mean everybody needs to go out and be a groomer, because it is difficult.
I bet it is. So what is the most difficult part of your job, since you mentioned that?
Well, I guess letting the dogs go home.
You enjoy it so much.
I really do. I end up with no makeup on at the end of the day from all the doggy kisses. So that's why I do it.
So for those who've never had their dogs groomed or have never even thought about doing it, what's the importance of having your dog groomed?
Well, it's good for their health. They need baths, regular baths, nail trims. Long-haired dogs or dogs that their hair grows constantly, they need to be brushed, and it's just good for their coat, good for their skin. If the owner does it a little bit at home, the brushing and stuff, it's actually good for bonding. Because dogs or wolves out in the wild would groom each other. So it's good for them.
What is the most difficult dog type to groom? Not attitude-wise, but coat-wise.
Coat-wise, I would say certain terriers, they have that wire hair, and then they have an undercoat underneath, and it's real downy. That's difficult. It sometimes doesn't want to behave.
And how often is it important to get a dog in for grooming?
Well, something like a poodle, I would say every 6 to 8 weeks, depending upon the length you want to keep it. 6 to 8 weeks is about the average. A lab or something could go like 2 or 3 months, but you do want to get them bathed.
So you were telling me that a question you get quite a bit is, have you ever been bitten by one of your dogs that comes in?
Yes, I have. No, really. Yeah, I have been bitten a few times, but I'm usually pretty quick, and I have a feel, because I try not to take my hands off the dog very often, so you can usually feel when they're gearing up to give you a good bite. So, but I don't have any missing digits, so I'm pretty good there.
I imagine they love it so much and enjoy coming in that you wouldn't have a dog bite you.
Yeah, I have some of my customers will tell me that they can't say my name at their house because the dog's trying to get in the car to come see me. So that makes me feel really good. And
now, do you ever groom cats?
I have groomed cats. Cats are very difficult. They don't like to be in a place where there's dogs barking or loud noises. They typically can't stand a bath. Don't like the blow dryer. So I've kind of gotten away from grooming cats. I will do toenails on cats, or if one's got bad mats that it needs for health purposes to shave out, then I will shave one out.
Great. So with the the dogs that come in, so you're saying that every 6 to 8 weeks, sometimes longer depending on the coat, they can come in. What, again, for those who don't know about grooming or have not had their dogs groomed, give us a rundown of what happens when someone drops their dog off. What is the process? What do you do in a grooming session?
Well, when they come in, I get their information, you know, so I can call them when their dog is ready. I'll typically take the dog in to get a bath and then a blow dry, and then we start clipping on it, and you know, gotta get it all looking pretty and smelling good, and of course I give it lots of love and everything, and then I'll call the owner and tell them, okay, your dog's ready.
Great. And then the dog looks beautiful, smells beautiful, and is ready to take on the world at that point.
Yeah, they usually go home and sleep real good because they're tired.
Do you have any particular story that stands out over your years of grooming that you would like to share?
I've probably got hundreds of them actually, but nothing in particular. I do a lot of fostering, and it's really good, you know, for the shelter and feral dogs, and I do adopt out dogs from my shop. For them.
That's great.
And like yesterday, a guy brought a dog in, and he had been my foster for about a month, I would say, and he got to see me again. I got to see him again. It was just wonderful, and he keeps him groomed, you know. It was really nice.
So you still get to keep up with your fosters?
Yes, I really do, and I love that because you know, my favorite thing, like when we used to foster puppies and stuff, when they would leave and go out on to rescues and everything, I love the update pictures, and that was just, you know, so it's kind of like getting a live update when you get to play with them again.
So since we're talking about some of your fosters that you've had, Missy's husband Jeff was on the show a couple weeks ago, and he told us about one of their fosters, Mongo, right?
Yes,
that was
Mongo.
the dog, if you saw the show, that could jump up and put his own leash on. So how's Mongo doing?
Mongo is great. He's ornery as ever. He's learning. We're trying to keep him socialized so he doesn't, you know, bark your head off, but he's doing really good.
Good.
He's doing good.
And he will be available for adoption sometime soon?
Yes. We need to find the right owner for him because he is pretty headstrong.
Now, one thing that you offer at your shop that through Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill is that you have those spay and neuter vouchers there. And we've got an upcoming spay and neuter voucher sale. We've got the graphic on right now. It's going to be held on the 23rd, so this Saturday at PetSense from 9 a.m. to 12. And even though Missy has the spay and neuter vouchers at her store, this is an even bigger discount. So Feral Dogs is really helping your wallet right now to be able to buy these at $25. So Missy, tell us a little bit about how those vouchers work for the people that don't know how they work.
Well, you come in and you pay for the voucher, and then you call the number on the voucher and make your appointment, and then you can either catch the transport that leaves once or twice a month from Sylacauga, or they also have other locations where I think there's one in Oxford, maybe Alex City. You put your dog on the transport, or you can opt to take them up there yourself, and they take and spay and neuter your pet and bring it back to you.
And this is Alabama Spay and Neuter. They're in Irondale, so just outside of Birmingham. Right. And they've made it very easy on everyone where you can take your pet up there yourself, or there's a transfer. And they leave the shelter here in Sylacauga, so they leave from the shelter. And
it's very early in the morning, so if you choose to do the transport, get there early, definitely.
Okay. Now, with this, just to note how special this event is this Saturday, that's $25 to get a spay and neuter. But if they miss the Saturday event, you do have low-cost vouchers at your facility regularly.
Yes, I keep them there.
And how much are those?
Well, female dogs are $60. Male dogs and female cats are $45. And male cats are $30, excuse me.
Okay, so, and that's something that the Feral Dogs of Avondale, they work very hard throughout the year to raise money to help bring those low-cost spay and neuter vouchers to the community. And so that's a really good discount this Saturday, the $25. So make sure you take part in that, because that is that's a huge savings for you, and it's such a good thing for the community to help lower the cost for that and to get more animals spayed and neutered so we don't have such an overpopulation issue.
Exactly.
Now, how long have you been volunteering with feral dogs?
Oh, for about 6 or 7 years.
Okay. And then what all do you do for feral dogs? We know you've got the spay and neuter vouchers there at Mutt Cuts.
Right.
And then you also foster.
We also foster. We have a warehouse next door that we keep stocked with foster supplies for, so the foster doesn't have to do anything or pay anything out of pocket. If the shelter gets in a dog that is desperately in need of a groom, I groom it for them. And we've run transports before, all kinds of things. We house the newspapers. I can't name all the things we do.
And you do so much for them, and it's I know they appreciate everything that you do.
Well,
because there's so many ways that you can help feral dogs of Avondale Mill and the shelter.
Oh, there are.
And you certainly do little bits and pieces of most of those things.
I try.
Well, you try really well.
Thank you.
Do a good job.
Thank you.
So, again, we have the Spay and Neuter voucher sale going on this Saturday. It's at Pet Sense right next door to Hobby Lobby on 280, and it's $25. They're there. They'll have a whole group from Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill there from 9 a.m. to 12. They can answer any questions that you have. They'll also, at Pet Sense, they have cats there that you can adopt. So, if you're if you can bring a cat into your family, then you can certainly meet some, and that's a perfect place to go and support the community. So remember, this Saturday, spay and neuter, and we can all join together as a community and help decrease the homeless pet population that we have here. Missy, thank you again for joining us. Any last thoughts before we go?
Keep your pets groomed. It's good for them, and it's good for you, and it's really good for me.
There you go. So have a good day, and thank you for joining us for Pet Connect.